So this game had a major downfall in the last 4 years. How a near perfect hybrid game which was going to take over fall down so low. Before talking about why the game fell off, let's talk about why we loved the game. The name Fruit Battlegrounds. We gotta talk about why people loved it so much in the first place. Because this game got so many things right. And honestly, that's where the comes in. The downfall hurt even more. Let's begin with the first system that was unique to both hybrid games gambling. The spinning system was addictive for sure. It worked. I mean, yeah, technically gambling was disguised as gameplay, but it worked. Like all Roblox game, I mean, there's a literal genre of game called RNGs, Souls RNGs and whatnot. But here, every spin felt important because you're not chasing a subtext, you're chasing the food. You can see it visually. You're always chasing that one thing you have seen, the one mythical food you have seen, the cool abilities it has seen. It has been in front of your eyes, and you have seen it using the abilities. You have seen the terrors it has caused. And then when you were spinning for it with the amount of gems you have, the animation, and when it finally happens, that little shink happens, and bam, you have your fruit. That dopamine hit, that rush was ridiculous. It didn't make sense, but that little jumping off, like that was it. That was literally 50% of the fun of the game. And unlike a lot of anime games, the fruit felt actually grinding the worth the game. It felt you were grinding for the right thing. The fruit design in this game was genuinely some of the best Roblox had ever seen. Not just visually either. Yes, the fruit looked very beautiful. It was very intricate. The designs were intricate. But if we, because this game is not just a collector, right? This is just a game which is not collector, had such beautiful designs, did not make sense. Yet they did it. And the abilities themselves were creative. You and some examples for it, you can see the names showed the example itself. Quake felt destructing. The ability to slam from such a range and see the destruction. The dragon felt overpowered. Dark X Quake, a complete chaos we have never seen, not in the anime nor in the manga. And Nika genuinely felt like you were in the anime, the fighting, the base moves, the speed, the creativity which went into creating those mythical fruit. It felt alive just instead of just being reskinned movesets. That was probably the biggest strength of Fruit Battlegrounds. The fruit just didn't look different, they played different. Every major fruit had its own identity, its own combos, and its own movement. Its own broken mechanic that made people want to grind for it. It could be something as simple as ash fruit, which is rare, to something crazy like dough we do. And because of that, the game constantly gave players something to chase. Even if you already had a good food, there's always some fruit that looked cooler, stronger, or more fun. There was never ending. It also every fruit had a major identity. That's why every fruit looked like the grass is greener on the other side. That is the epitome of Fruit Battleground. The maps also played a huge role in why the game worked so well. They were large enough to handle the chaos of 20 player battlegrounds without feeling completely crammed. Dressrosa, the starting point of the game, especially felt massive during the game's peak. You could randomly run into fights. Third party exploded, despite them claiming it's just another alpha. But no alpha game hits 50,000 players at peak. No alpha game has 1.1 million likes. It wasn't just another generic anime game like we have seen. Go fight this, fight that, and PC. It was a completely new experience because it was a true hybrid, and it worked. That's what made the creativity of it. So, how did you like that cool last transition? Well, jokes aside, now the reason why the game has plummeted because unlike other games, it's not just one major problem. It has multiple. Now let's begin with the actual major problem, which I consider the worst, the update cycle. Sure, this game was great, like I said, with the pros. Now at the cons, the update time has become longer, which is fine. I respect the devs taking time and rest. Mental health is very important. But the update quality did not drop. It became stale. It became so stale that a caller could predict how that's how it went for nearly 2 years straight. With four fruits. 2 years straight we had four fruits. Mythical. Like there is a little pattern. Mythical fruit, which is an OP fruit, balance changes and nerfing it. Mythical fruit, OP fruit, balancing it, nerfing it. Like is this Clash Royale? Like I mean, what is this? I mean, the pattern has been like this for 2 years straight. The fruits, sure, they may have cool design, but they've all follow this one base, which is a hyper aware combo cycle, which means they have like this one OP move, which if it lands, you're done for. You're stuck in this cutscene, which is very annoying because that's how it has been for like 2 years. Why nothing has changed about that pattern? It's like a guarantee now. And if you don't believe me, if I'm a decent editor by now, there should be all the patch notes stuck up showing how the updates have basically been nearly the same. Oh, yeah, now let's go through them briefly. Update 18, Okoji Fruit, where you cannot stay on the ground, or if you're in fast enough for the ult, it will end up you up in a combo. Update 19, no way to sure. The mirror world is cool, but it's just another boss. Arena, one quality of life update, update 20, Impact, Leopard. I think I messed up the timings, but yeah, similarly with Leopard, sure, the reboot system is cool. Like, again, it's just a way of grinding again. 25,000 gems, all that. I mean, it's just been rinse and repeating with a few changes which look great on pen and paper. And this is all they have for each update cycle, which is around 6 months for each. That's what I think. Now, the second major point why the plummet had begun, the players and the game system itself. The first time leveling up a fruit feels exciting. Second time, sure, it's still fun. But after grinding fruit after fruit, most people eventually realize how repetitive the leveling actually is. So now you end up with the lobbies filled with AFK macro users. Then there is then there's a small community of low level players who do not want to combat, just experience the fruit. So they just hide up in their holes to survive and just practice their moves. And the third part, the people who are actually fighting to fight in the big Dressrosa map, which is fun, but those fights also become very frustrating. I mean, either the player is way too strong for you. I mean, you can be level 100 and fight them, and they can just be more level than you. Like they're either too strong or either you're too weak. Then they run away. I mean, yes, a big map is helpful, but again, it just allows runners to run, and it's literally not fair how some fruit just have a get out of jail card like Light or Quake. The second they start losing, I mean, the running is fine, but what are they running from? A meaninglessly bounty number? And somehow this game made worse by allowing max level players to roam around with beginner players because that makes sense. Now, I'll give you a hypothetical situation. You have leveled up to 100. You're confident that you may not need macro or need to hide. You get out, and then you find a max level player abusing a fruit. But guess what? You're not scared. Let's have a fight. But can you outplay them? Sure, you can. I mean, that's great. You think you can take them. But now the game is literally against you. You're fighting somebody who has more health, damage, but the most frustrating part, stamina. The game systems are stacked against you. The stamina system balance should be to balance fruits, not players. Why is it that if you even if you take a fight that may not be level different or may be level different, stamina should not be a factor if they can win or not. How does that make sense? Some fruits take a lot more stamina. Yes, it balances those specific fruits perfectly. But if you're using that on a lesser level, you are completely defenseless. The game literally relies on macro for their players. Third, major and final problem: the fruits. This game is not beginner friendly. I mean, geez, I've seen so many people begin this game and ask where the dummies were. I mean, like, this is not blocks fruit. There is, sorry for the brief interruption, but I was saying, to be considered good or decent in this game, or even enjoy it, you must nearly have all knowledge of all the fruits you're fighting, which is fine if you're using fruits. But now the game also expects you to understand the opponent's fruits. I mean, I remember when Nika fruit came out, a lot of the new player base could not handle it because they didn't know the first move could be blocked. And the darkness fruit, which is still in the game, has an infinite loop. If you or the other party does not know that there's a specific timing you can stop that, or else even the best fruit in the game does not stand a chance. But again, these small minor problems add up to a major problem, and each small problem bugs a player that may never come back to this game. Like some fruits who people just sigh fighting against, like Ice V2, Do V2, OP V2, string. I understand OP V2 and Do V2 can be annoying and a problem, and I get it's they're mythical, but why is it that instead of being creative, they are annoying? Why is it that Ice V2 nearly has blockable or guard break moves? String has this annoying thing. It's not, I mean, let me be honest, the abilities are creative, but there is a little problem about them, yeah, which makes them annoying. I wouldn't want to delve into that more because it's not a fruit tier list. Now to Now to conclude this nearly 15-minute long review, here's the pointers. Update cycle is too long for the repetition bugs, glitches, ruining up entire fights or fruits, or even ruining something as important as ranked, which literally relies on a 1v1 and expects to be fair. This game relies too much on the huge amount of grind the player has to make, which makes them sensitive to the third party like macroing. Despite all of that, I still love the game from bottom of my heart, and this is why I think the game has plummeted down. Okay, while I was about to finish this video, I saw the owner Zach putting up a message about acknowledging problems and updates, and the reason for delay and whatnot. It is a secret project. The reason for all the problems was a secret project, which in hindsight may look cool for it, but like, why keep the game in shadows from its own player base? But not being a whiny brat, I am glad he actually acknowledges the problems, and this was a very heartfelt message from him. Thank you.